Hello. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit about the numerology, and we want very much to bring to your attention that there are people who are actually studied in this and well worth studying. There are a number of books that are on the shelf, and we decided to move, yes, just like that, this whole shelf and this whole shelf, and most of that shelf is metaphysical stuff. And there are some books on the numerology, helpful, however, not delved in for reasons that you have seen with the problems with the sequencing and the memory and blah blah. So why would someone who is not capable of doing some of the thinking that is required to be a master in this particular field of endeavor, why would there be a need and a language of numbers? Well, we would say that this is encoded. It is clear if you listen to discussion, either conscious or with the turbocharge of the atomic wave theory and subatomic blah blah. Well, clearly you're talking to a scientist who is not received formal 3D training on purpose. So we're going to discuss a little base 12, and we're going to discuss the body goes, ooh, really, mama? Really, mama? Yes, darling. To base 12, baby. Little bit. Oh, the sock's got to come off. She's heating up. She's got a pink fuzzy socks on because she was cold and her feet were aching. But no more. Holy moly. Alright, so, but let's do meanings first, yes? And this brings to mind the great Master Kayan, and his work in numerology is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Well worth studying. He himself a master. And someone who is aware of a brain trust and has worked with others who are very, very well versed in esoterica as it applies to numerology. So we're just going to do the alphabet, and then we're going to explain to you about a little bit about chaos theory, and it's already been discussed a bit by her in a little teeny tiny video called Chaos. Well, it has chaos in the theory in the title, and it was the first week about order and chaos, and that chaos is, well, we'll do that first. That chaos is appears like static on the TV screen. It appears as events which make no sense and are very disruptive, both emotionally and in life situationally. Things that don't make any sense, or things that look as if they are void of sense. This is chaos, and chaos is simply patterning that is not recognized by your eyes, your heart, and this thing. You're not hooked up yet, so you can't see it. Chaos is, of course, it's appreciated with the awareness of synchronicity, and you got to believe that first. That's why we have been doing some of the videos we've been doing. And then after the alphabet, we will then do meaning of the numbers, and then we will end up with doing a little birthday, and we want to do this in a little bit, teeny tiny bit. Alphabet. Okay, so, well, it's a nice system because if we go to 12, then we've got a smaller letter base, of course, than the alphabet. Yes, so 1, new beginning, fresh start, initiation. 2, duality, push pull, simple ideas of duality. 3, trinity. Not quite yet structure, the thing that lies between two objects that are not communicating, and far objects which are a structure. Well, how do you get there, girlie? You get there through catalyst. You get there through something which, when introduced, changes something into something else. Woot, woot, woot. See the circle? See the Trinity. 3. Didn't Tesla say? If you want to understand the universe, figure out what 3 and 4 mean. Boom, boom, ching. 7 too. I think he threw in the 7. It's kind of important. So then we've got Fa, which is here. It means Gaia. We've talked about the Fa at length, have we not? So the Fa is structure, and by that dwelling place within the structure, being able to live within a structure. Words do not serve. 5, change. change. Pure change. 3 is a catalyst. 5 is a shift. 6. Well, it's been called over higher self. We are preferring more and more to just talk about oversoul. It implies big, but embodiment could be also a word for the 6. 7 is divinity. It is a pinnacle. It is an understanding, a sacred number, which stands alone in the alphabet. 4, its sacredness and its uniqueness. 8, we've talked about that. We flogged the 8. It's there taking a nap. Ultimate responsibility of the sovereign. Ultimate responsibility of and for and to self. And this is an understanding of what self, what that word actually means, which is, of course, creator. It is also the symbol of infinity or eternity or immortality. So, canine. Oh boy, that's a biggie. 9. Well, it's very nice to think of it as completion. I think that it's the most steady. It is a important number, and its meanings are, some of them are quite hidden. So it is also a divine number. Considering it divine, completion is highly appropriate, and it can be seen also as the end of reflectivity, the reflection. 9 has properties that are truly magical. You understand when a 9 is in the equation that it serves as a mirror, it serves as a portal and a doorway. 10, we discussed, well, that is the neutron and the electron. It's a placeholder, it's a reminder. And there are many base 10 systems here. Yes, the metric system, it's a wonderful system. It's an easy system to work with if you've got to make decisions quickly. It has very small increments, and so for medicaments and things, it's very helpful. And we're not putting it down in any way. No. It's very, very helpful. But can you not see that it adds even further refinement? It is a focuser of energy, focuser of intent, not a magnifier. No, focus. New beginning in null. It is a paradox. It is a number of paradox. See, as we go up, the numbers are less understood because they have not been worked with esoterically as much with the consciousness, because the consciousness has been in the 3, 4, 5, 6 around there. Some are higher, some, and there, of course, is a fluidity of discussion. Yeah, nighttime and stuff like that. Alright, 1111. Well, dears, that is the number of illumination. Straight up. 2 neutrons. Well, think of the light. Think of the power. 2 shafts of pure white light. Pew, pew. Not going out, going up and down and illuminating everything around it. 12. 12. Well, come on now. Have you not seen how important the 12 is? Why do you think? Okay, well, let's look at the numbers. There's a 1. 1 is a new beginning. 2, duality. Put them together, what do they spell? 3. Ooh. Do you see? It's a creation itself, that number. And then, of course, the crown. The jewel in the crown. Oh, the nose is smelling pretty good, I tell you. Yes, the 13. Almost too holy to say out loud. The 13. New beginning. Initiation. Catalytic energy. Spelling what, dear ones? Well, that would be spelling far. Interesting. A number that is the explanation for the base 12 system and held in the holiest of holies. So that is the alphabet. And so what do you do with it? Well, okay, now that you know it, then wouldn't it be fun if you knew what your numbers were? Have you ever added up your social security number, your apartment number, your birthday? So we'd show you how to do it, and we have to have paper and a pen because there are circuits left to complete. So this one's birthday, we'll do that one, why not? 2/23/61, right? So there's a 2, that's the February. There's a 2/3, that's the date. And there's 1961. Okay, so we have a 3 base system to operate within, yes? So we draw a line above the numbers and below. It's helpful, why not? When you're starting out, you don't have to. But above, so above you'd put the 2 and a plus. And then you'd put, okay, 2 and 3. What does that mean? That is a 5. And then a plus. And then a, oh boy, here we go. This is the hard part. A 1 and a 9, what would that be? Well, that's a 1. So that's a 1 down below. And then a 6, 1, well, that's a 7 down below. A plus sign, that's an 8. So, and then I have to check my math. Okay, that's an 8. All right. So now we have, see, these are my notes. Well, I have a pink pen. Oh crap. Oh well. You'll have to figure it out. So raising up. Second treble. 2 plus 5 plus 8. That would be 15. Next treble up. Well, dear one, that's a 6. So, inverted pyramid, down below pyramid, don't matter. It's just a simple thing of addition. You add your numbers together and you put them up. And then you add those numbers up and put them up. Then you add that number and you put it up. Or you don't. Maybe you just do it in a flash. Oh, that's a 6. And then we go pat on your back and say, you're so smart. We wish you had your big brain. So, the nice part about this is that it slows down the process. So the raw numbers are a 2 and a 5 and an 8. Duality, change, and responsibility. Going up 1, it's a 1 and a 5. New beginnings and change. Oh, yeah. It's a wicked combo. And then up above that, and it does not relate to the base 12. If it were 13, it'd be different, but And then going up, well, that's a 6. Okay, so that's your number. Whee! Yay. So I'm a 6. Blah, blah, blah. Now that's how I do it. Maybe you do it completely different. Are you right and I'm wrong? Am I right and you wrong? Well, how about if we're both right? Does it work for you? Well, far out. This one works for me. Maybe we could get together and discuss our systems and see how they work together and fight against each other and learn stuff about it. See how that works? It's not just two people getting into a ring and beating each other up, proving who has the best system. No, it's about figuring out, well, hell, that's really pretty. Can I see it? Can I see your notes? So, this is all the synthesis of a lifetime of, gleaning information, but a lot of it is internally driven too. What can you do? So, the most important part about all of this is that you can use numbers without having to do a lot of addition. Thank God. And simple addition. And use it when you see numbers. If you have something that catches your eye, hey, guess what? Your eye is being caught. So take a look at it. What's the number on your grocery bill? They say, and you got all these great foods, and it's $102.94. Well, I don't know. Is it important to you? 102. Oh yeah, that really speaks to me. That totally explains everything. There's been more than one time I've looked at something going, oh my God, it's the face of Jesus looking at me. This makes so much sense. Now, we bring this up to tell you about coding, which is really the point of learning this all. Yes, okay, you can look at the matchsticks all your life, or you can just start a fire with it and enjoy the warmth. Really, it's kind of the idea. When you look at a text, we've been looking at the Bible. It's been our thing lately. For about 4 days. And thank God we understand numerology. Thank God we have an appreciation. Because doing, it was right there. I was like, oh my God. Oh, holy crap. That's today's date. Oh God, oh God, oh God. And on and on and on and on it went. Well, okay. There's this thing in psychiatry called ideas of a reference. So let's have the naysayers. Hey, you naysayers over there. All you people who are really good at invalidating bizarre experience that you have never had. Come over here. Come on. Sit. Okay, here's the deal. There's this really mean concept called ideas of reference. And I myself as a clinician, as the Kathy, have witnessed when people have been floridly psychotic and truly in the midst of this particular phenomenon, which can become crippling. And to truly believe the television is talking just to you, but they're telling you about the worm people who are going to come through the clock if the big hand goes to the 4. And so you get up and smash the clock at the 3. Yes, I've had a patient who did that. We had to remove all the clocks because he kept smashing them. It was an idea of reference. Another person who showed me a picture of a Time magazine, and it was of Olympian runners, and it was very, very clear that this particular one was her. It was not. But the likeness was there, and the story was superb, and the clinician was quite naive. But really then it becomes a question of whether you're going to argue with a delusion. Okay, so we talk about that for a minute to close. It is a fascinating thing to speak with someone who is in the middle of a delusion. When someone has a fixed delusional system, then it is a closed system of consciousness with sort of an M&M coating on it. Both sides. You can't get through. hello, is anybody in there? No, there's no one in there. It's like that. You can't get through. And these delusions can be very, very confounding. The true belief that there are babies growing in your stomach and they are nourished and they become very restless and evil after you've had a good meal. And so then we find the man in the bathroom cutting on his stomach and we see all of his scars. Because that's his belief. The woman who winds up at the psychiatric hospital because she's convinced that a stranger's baby is hers. And she goes to great length to rescue her own. Well, this is indeed something that is brought to the attention of authorities, and then it is medicated, managed, and hopefully extinguished. And so we would suggest that many of the times that people are having psychotic episodes that include fixed delusional state, they are actually stretching their legs as shaman, and they have lost track of what is real and what is not, and they have not the skill or the kosh perhaps, or the ability to express. Many have head injury, many have been warped in their ego structure from abuse that is beyond belief, and many are just a little fragile. And so the question is it such a bad thing? Further, is it such a bad thing if someone needs to have be given food and shelter for their whole life so they can live out these understandings? Well, I don't think so. I think there are resources enough, actually. And many of, especially, this has to happen. My dear, my dear loves, I can't even call you brothers and sisters, my loves, I love you so much. Those who have the schizophrenia, I can smell you. Yes, you emit a very beautiful odor, always, always, always. I love you so dearly. I can feel you from across the room, and to be in the midst of many. These are people who are so expanded, and the radio bands are wide, and they are gentle people who respond to a mother's love best of all. Best of all. Schizophrenic, so beautiful, beautiful shaman, lost in time, here to assist people of a lower consciousness to learn about such things as gentleness, allowance, tolerance, and awe for imagination. I love them so much. I love them so much. So, how do we go from numerology to mental illness and mental health? Well, I'll tell you. It's true. If I ever went into numerology, then you would have to come visit me at the psych hospital, and I would be as happy as that mathematician. I know now it's because being more left brain, it was not very balanced, you see. Now it's more balanced, and now the numbers can speak better and have the more meaning, and they have a richness and a lushness and a life. The language is no longer the alphabet, the language is speaking, and this allows chaos to become very clear. Chaos is God. chaos is God talking to you and you don't having figured out the language yet, because it's far too magical and full of fun. So, numerology and mental illness, well, there you go. Of course, that's where I would go with it. Oh, God bless those who are labeled as mentally ill and in containment, in confinement, and not among those who understand. But dear brothers and sisters, if you're in a hospital or a halfway house, self-managed enough to stay there, please find it within yourself to do what needs to be done on a daily basis just to keep the man off your back and stay where you are. A little compliance doesn't hurt anybody when you look at what is available elsewhere, which is precious little at this point. The street or jails, basically. Or, well, it's tough. So if you've got a good place, please self-manage. Show respect for what you've been given. And please show respect for who you are. A great, great soul lost in time. We love you.